Part 1, Story 2, How Everything Began. I'm going to use my ruler because my eyes get... Okay. Many years ago, I read a story about a boy who picked up a strange object on the street. It was shaped like a horseshoe and had a mysterious name written on it. The boy tried to pronounce the name, but failed. He tried again and again. Then one day, as he said the word a different way, the object began to grow in his hand. It became bigger and bigger the at until at last the horseshoe was as big as the doorway. He stepped through it and found himself in a foreign country far across the sea. Day by day, using his horseshoe, he visited all sorts of strange places. Then he thought he would like to see how people lived long ago. So he whispered the magic word to the horseshoe, and he said he would visit Rome in the days of Caesar. And presto, he was. Of course, it is only a made-up story, but it does give us an idea. Would you like to go and see what the world was like back at the beginning of time? You would? All right, let's. And this is where this page ends. And this is what the end of story 1 looked like. And we turn the page. Let's imagine that there is an archway through which we can pass and travel back across the years. Steady now, careful. Now we're going to go through it. Everything around is fading away. Chairs, table, carpets, radio set are disappearing. Faces are growing dim. Lights are going out. And it gets darker and darker and darker. Now, some of y'all may not be able to imagine this, but let's say you're doing those time things in your favorite superhero movie where he warps and goes into a different thing. Well, or all these sci-fi things, they have something similar to it. Remember, this is 1953. The TV wasn't really big. The radio set was mainly what people listened to back then. Yeah, 1953. Okay. Let me get back. Swiftly, we speed across the years, like the beginning of like being in a rocket plane. That right there is referring to mainly cereals. That was very popular back then. Let's get back. We streak over hundreds and thousands of years in a moment, past the time when Jesus lived on earth, past the time of David, past the time of Abraham, past the time of Noah, and past the time of Adam. Oh dear, now it's dark. We can't see anything. All about us is pitch black. Not a glimmer of light anywhere. Not the thinnest candle. Now, the not even the faintest star. Only darkness and night. But we can hear something. It's a swooshing, gurgling sound of water makes, just as we are having it many times on the seashore and when a boat on a lake. If you see, it's using a lot of imagery, and most of us don't see it. But I would put my version would be you making a splash in a bathtub or the shower running. That's just my imagination. Water and darkness. And of course, it does have illustration on here of a little boy and his dog resting. And that's these few pages. Okay, here we go. As the Bible said, darkness was upon the face of the deep. All of a sudden, we realize we're not alone. Somebody's here. We know it. We feel it. Amid the darkness, the emptiness, the loneliness, God is here. The Spirit of God is moving upon the face of the waters. God is looking upon the world He has created and planned what He would do with it. Suddenly, out of nowhere, we could tell where we heard a voice. Musical, strong, resilient, unlike any voice we have ever heard before. It commands the darkness to give place to the light. Instantly, darkness vanishes. We can see again, not very far, only a few feet, a few yards perhaps, because all around us is a thick mist. But how wonderful in the light after the dark. There's no blue sky, no bright sunshine, only a sort of brilliant fog. And under it, water everywhere. No land, just a vast, restless, heaving ocean. Not a man, not a woman, not a boy, not a girl, not a bird or an animal. No, not even a fish in the sea. Only the light in the mist and on the water. God said to the light, let me repeat that. And God saw the light, and it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness, and God called the light day, and the darkness He called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. The first day, and every beginning of everywhere, the beginning of everything in a old world, the beginning of time, the beginning of history, the beginning of all the happiness and sorrow of mankind. For it was on this day, that the great and loving Creator, with the wonderful purpose in mind, drew near this blackened out planet, the dark little speck in space, and said, "Let there be light." And then, of course, the is nothing but water. And that's the end of story 2. Now I'm going to snip this. I'm going to start on 3.